how you can get rich according to your life path. First things first, you need to align yourself with your energy. Everyone's energy is different because everyone has a different life path and then is born on different days. So we're going to go through each life path. I'm just going to give you a few foundational points on what you can do to align yourself better with your energy, leading you to have better opportunities in life. So, one life path. First things first, these guys need to be in a position of power. Power. Leadership. And the fundamental thing is they have to take charge. They have to take charge in their own life and take charge of their fate, whether that's in work or outside of work. This is a must. This is a must. Now, in terms of, let's say, professions, I'm not even going to try and spell entrepreneurship, but you get entry. Now, if you want to go through like the more 9 to 5 route, lawyer's good. Politician. Now, why have I said lawyer? These guys, very disagreeable and good debaters. I'll put lawyer, politician, because fundamentally the one is ruled by the sun, and the sun in astrology is about politics, because the one is, or the sun is seen as the king, and the pseudo kings now are prime ministers or presidents. So it's why politicians or politics is a good avenue to go into. Then entrepreneurship, this can be either e-commerce or just running your own business. That's what I'm going to give for that one. Now, child touch. The 2, well, we'll just put the 11 because no 2s. The 11. Now, this is a very, very special number because the way you have to think about this is it's man plus woman. Because fundamentally, it is still a 2, 11. But obviously, the way you're going through the vibration to get to the 2 is by using 2 masculine numbers. So it's man and woman, yin and yang, in one energy. Now, this is probably the best number for fame, because the other way you can look at it is, as I said before, 1 is the sun. Now, one sun's already bright. Imagine 2 suns conceptually. Fucking bright as shit. Bright as shit. Now, look at this. Go on your phone, go on Max Torch. Now, 10 times it. That is what it is. So what does that mean? It means it brings a lot of attention upon itself. And that means you need to know how to capitalize on your attention. Now, this is good and bad. Obviously, that's the pros. Now, the con is you will be heavily scrutinized, whether this is in life, in work, etc. Because all eyes are on you. So you can't fuck up, you will get caught. Now, in terms of practical things, hopefully I spelled that right. Meditation is a necessary thing in these guys' life. These people are emotionally not in control at all. Think about having a man and a woman's energy in one body. It doesn't work. They need meditation. This is just foundational points, because if you don't have meditation or some peace in your life, cool, you might make money, whatever, you will not be fulfilled and you will not be able to get to the next step. You might be able to get to an M or whatever, you won't be able to sustain it. You'll crash out. But meditation, obviously, anything to do with content will always do well. guys will always do better in foreign countries for 2 reasons. It's the 5th prime number, meaning it has 5 energy imbued in it. 5 is the number of travel. But also, the 11 is ruled by the moon, because again, it's fundamentally a 2. Now, moon is about to travel also. So foreign lands will do quite well for these guys. Obviously, as I said, content are very good. And then, in terms of 9 to 5 jobs, I mean, you can say politics too, I guess, for the same reason that I said the 1. But yeah, I think that would be it for these guys. Now, the 3 life paths. Very misunderstood number. But obviously, I'm just going to go through the foundational stuff. Communication. These guys need to be in a job or a industry where they are speaking or where they are heard. Now, this doesn't mean it just has to be speaking. It can be writing. Like, copywriting is very good for these guys. Obviously, sales. Ideally, SaaS. If you don't know what SaaS is, look it up. Copywriting, SaaS, probably the best. Obviously, content. Copywriting, if you don't know what copywriting is, it's basically when you look at a fucking, this for example, this has fucking writing. Guess who formulates the writing? Copywriters. In fact, let me just get a drink. Hopefully that don't fall. But yeah, copywriting. Obviously sales, because these guys are the best communicators. The other thing, they should not limit themselves in terms of their personality. Let their personality shine, because these guys are very likable people on the surface. Now obviously it doesn't mean every 3 life paths nice or whatever, but they seem very likable because they're charming and they're funny. This is also why content is so good for them, because they are decent, or not decent, they're very good entertainers. Now this is the surface level 3. 3 is obviously ruled by, and once you understand that, then you understand that these guys have a lot of hidden wisdom. The 4 life paths. Now, this is the best example of aligning yourself with your energy. For these people to shine, they can do pretty much whatever. Ideally, something in tech, but they need to have a structure in life. This is their superpower. Superman's got fucking flying. These men have structure in their life, or have the ability to shine through structure. So, what do you need? Plan. Every day you have to plan it out. The night before, go on your notes app, literally make a whole plan. A whole plan of what you're going to do, how you're going to do it, and organize it like it is school with a planner. You have hours, blocks of hours, and you decide what you're going to do there. Now, the reason why I said tech is because it is ruled by Rahu, or the North Node. Rahu rules technology. So, if I'm putting tech and structure, guess what's really good for these guys? Coding. Because guess what coding is? It's a structure, it's a form of technology. When I mean a form, I mean like an infrastructure on that. Obviously, from that you can also extrapolate, you can probably say crypto. You can say so many things. The main thing with these guys is structure. Now, at the same time, Some people or fours naturally do have structure. So this is kind of almost a relevant point. However, I do know fours that don't, and yeah, it's not good. But what else does this mean? It means most of you guys need to understand how to be flexible in life, because you get lost in this too much and you forget about this, because you need to be flexible too. You can't be doing the same shit all the time. You need to understand when you need to pivot, when to be fluid, because that's a skill in itself that usually these guys don't have. Oh, another thing with the 11s, marketing, because I remember I said they have a good ability to capture attention. Obviously, what is marketing? Capturing attention. Anyway, I like off. Now again, you can also apply the same thing for that. Marketing. These guys are good at marketing. Why are they good at marketing? It's ruled by Mercury. Now, you can also say, extrapolate from that, these guys will be good at communicating, good at sales. Yes, that is all true. Also, I mean, if you go solely on numerology, W is the 23rd letter, or starts with W, writing or writer. So yeah, you can say these guys are good writers. That means copywriting's decent for these guys. Fuck that, I'm too fried to spell actually. Anyway, that, another thing, again, this is more of a foundational point for these guys. This is what they lack, and they need to understand how to utilize this better. Because with these guys, typically they have the highest ceiling in terms of what they can achieve. However, they usually start at the very bottom and they just have to climb. Because obviously it's the number of change, meaning they can change themselves and evolve to get to the very top. But it also means they start from here, where most numbers start from here. These guys start from here, but they have the ability to go all the way up there. But to implement this properly, you need structure and you need something in mind. You need to have a goal. And the goal can't be just having sex with people, because that's not a good goal. But then obviously the same advice would be for the fours, for the fives. Have a daily routine, make a plan in your notes for the day before, etc. And it also means their superpower is their flexibility. Now, another thing with these guys in terms of what industries, content, can't be, it has to be showing your face. Don't do faceless content. Typically, obviously, these guys are good looking. Do it with your face. Utilize your strengths. Align yourself with your energy. That also includes your face. Content, obviously marketing. Typically, business stuff's good because Mercury rules business. And yeah, obviously you can do writing tasks. But again, these guys need to overcome their lack of structure. These guys operate in chaos, and that is not always good. It's good for a good time though. Drink break. Six LifePaths. Now, what I've noticed with these guys is everyone knows it's the number of family. Now, how do you extrapolate that properly into business? They do best, or they thrive the most, when they're in groups. 6s are never the lone wolves. Lone wolves typically are 1s, 7s. They can do business by themselves and they can succeed. 6s typically need to be in a group. They need to do stuff with other people to get the most out of them. So remember that. If you're a 6 and you want to go into business or you want to start your own shit, you have to do it with people and it will work very well. Now, in terms of industries, it is ruled by Venus. Venus is fashion. Obviously, this brands too. It's culture. Kind of food, because obviously Taurus is about food. Why have I put moon? So these guys, I was gonna say chefs, not really, but technically anything like this. This is why I've said before many times, this is a very good number for fame, which no one speaks about. Very, very good number for fame. So again, how do you utilize that? Content. But remember, I said groups. So what does this mean? Agency work. Agency work. What else? Agency work. Business partnerships are always needed. If you want to go down the 9-to-5 route, more so fashion companies, fashion designers, because these guys are quite creative. But typically, the best trait the 6s have is they have the ability to have a really good network and know very good and powerful people that are useful in getting their goals. So if you understand that, then you also have to put yourself in the right positions and environments to let that skill flourish. So find the good places in your city where rich people go or whatever. Go with one of your friends, I don't know, buy a drink and just start speaking to people. It doesn't have to be crazy. Just say, oh, I like your shoes. You can even lie, I like your shoes, and you strike up a conversation. If you don't know how to do that, boy, get to researching. Seven math off. We put it like this. Said this before, these guys need to work alone. It never works out when they work with people. The other con of this energy is stop and start. They'll do huge revolutions on what they're going to do, and they just start something and then they go like this, I don't want to do it anymore, and literally have to redo the whole thing again. That's a huge thing alone. And these guys need to lead into their ability to consume information. And because they can consume information at a very high degree, they need to utilize that. They need to learn one skill. Obviously, this goes for every life path, but with these guys, they can learn a skill and become an authority in that industry. Authority in that industry. And once they're an authority in that industry, obviously you will make money. That's how it works. You are in demand in that industry if you're an authority. These guys have very good intuition and they need to sometimes understand that they can lean into that and it will work out. Why do they have good intuition? Ooh. 7's ruled by K2, or the South Node. This is the headless one. Very, very good intuition, very, very good for the occult. This is why these guys are seen as the spiritual life path. Now, in terms of the other skills that these guys have, this is the 4th prime number. So again, it has the 4 energy imbued in it. Typically, these guys will be one of the most structured life paths. Again, I'm going to go with the same thing. Sometimes they need to be a bit more flexible or understand when to be flexible. And then in terms of, let's say, a 9 to 5 job, obviously this is going to be a cop-out, but anything to do with teaching, so a lecturer, an actual teacher. If you don't have self-respect, then yeah, you can go become a teacher, but lecturer. You can also be I don't know how to say this in English, counselor, let's say counselor, or let's say let's say you have an investment portfolio, you're the one giving advice on where they invest their shit in, for example, their gold or whatever. I forgot what the word is, but look that shit up, B. Anyway, anything where you are authority and you can give advice, those will be good roles. Or if you want to be out of the 9 to 5 bullshit, anything to do with coaching, kind of guru bullshit, but coaching, ideally one-to-one coaching, because again, these guys don't like a lot of people. So if you can do one-to-one coaching and you've got an authority, you can charge stupid money. You can say, give me £5,000 or $5,000, and they'll do it, because there are people that will spend £5,000, £1 million on knowledge. Yeah, I'll wait for that. Anyway, the 8 life path. Again, this is kind of a cop out, but yeah, entrepreneurship. Again, let me preface with this life path. Karma. Doesn't matter what I tell you. If you have shit karma, click off right now, because as a life path, you need good karma. If you don't have that, love. Now, what does that mean? It just means be a good person. Like, don't fuck people over, because you will get fucked over. And it might not even be money. Maybe you just have health issues, but be a good person. That's literally what I'm going to say for this life path. Be a good person, you won't have bad karma, and you will not get blocked from the blessings. Because remember, these guys are like magnets when it comes to money. But they are a magnet. And then there's also the fucking, what's it called? The 2 south poles, when it goes and it goes like that. That's what happens with the money. Anyway, as long as you're a good person, you're like a life path, you'll make money, man. There's not really a specific industry anymore. I can go into the planet or rules it, but I shan't. Now, 9 life path. I think I'll go actually. Researching is their biggest skill. Now, why is that? Everyone knows it is like a chameleon in the sense that once it's in an environment, it absorbs the environment, and it literally is the product of its environment. Meaning that if you surround yourself in, let's say, a business environment, it will rub off on you the most out of any other life path. And that's really good, because if you surround yourself in positive environments where you're likely to be successful, it will happen. Now you can look at it like that. The other reason why I say that is because it is ruled by Mars. Mars rules 2 signs. Oh shit. Scorpio. Scorpio is the sign of research, because it goes very, very deep. Very, very deep. Grabs that shit up. So anything where you do research, I mean, obviously you can say R&D, investigative journalists, detectives, or especially if you want to do something like content, you can do documentaries, like what's coming to my head, like Trap Ross, where he does like fucking 8-hour documentaries, and he's on fucking Reddit every day finding the scoop, etc. Obviously a journalist who, if you want to be a journalist in this day and age, don't do it with some fucking newspaper. Just make your own YouTube or Twitter, do your journalism there. But researching's their biggest superpower. Again, it's also being in the right environments with the right people. If you're with the wrong people, you will go down the wrong path. Again, Scorpio is in terms of the energy, it can be a bit wishy-washy, especially morally. So if it's around the wrong crowd, it will absorb that and also be the wrong type of person. So it's all about environment. Surround yourself with the right people, you will become the right person. Anyway, that's pretty much it. So God bless.